Now for the ISO disk image files to be used for our virtualization, this website is very useful for us where we can get all we need for our ISO disk images. So we have here the ISO disk image for our Windows operating systems, our Mac operating system, Windows Server operating systems. Now let's try to download this Windows XP, and we have variations of our links that are helpful in downloading the ISO disk image files. Now we have to choose this Windows XP ISO. We have the two options, 32 and 64-bit operating system. Okay, so if you want this 64-bit operating system of Windows XP, click on this one and you will be directed to this page to download the file now. So to download the file, we need to click on this button, start downloading. And I have already downloaded this version of Windows XP Professional, and it is being saved in this folder, okay, Windows XP. So we have here our ISO disk image file to be used for our virtualization, and we have to take note on this key to be used when installing this Windows XP in our virtual machine. Now, we are going to start our virtual machine and click virtual machine for Windows XP. So we have to create a new virtual machine. Click on this icon, the new icon. Then we are going to name our operating system like Windows XP. And the machine folder is by default located on this folder on where our VirtualBox is being um, located, and the type is Microsoft Windows. And let's try to choose the 64-bit that is compatible on our disk image files that is downloaded. Then click on next. So for the memory size, it is recommended to use the 512 MB. Then click on next. So for the hard disk, we need to create a virtual hard disk. Then for the hard disk file type, by default it is being selected the VDI or the virtual box disk image. Then click on next. For the storage and physical hard disk, the dynamically allocated is being chosen, where hard disk file will only use space on the physical hard disk as it fills up to a maximum fixed size, although it will not shrink again automatically when space in its freed. Then click on next. Then the file location and the size. It is being located, and it is being, since this is our second time that we have installed this one, so we have to specify the name of the new virtual hard disk file into the box given below, or click on the folder icon to select a different folder to create the file in. So by default, we have to click on this one and create. All right. Then we have to start our virtual machine. Okay, and select the normal start. Okay, so now we are going to select our ISO disk image file for Windows 95, and it is being saved in my drive D, and there is folder Windows XP, and we have to open this one. Then Windows XP Professional 64-bit Corporate Edition, and we need to start. Okay, so Windows is now starting our setup, and okay, later on we are going to get the activation key that is associated in the file name with this ISO disk image file. Now, welcome to setup. To set up Windows now, we need to press enter. So now we are going to press enter, then Windows licensing agreement. So we are going to accept this agreement, then press F8 to agree and ESC to not agree, page down and next. Then we need to press agree, so press F8. Okay, now the following list shows the existing partitions and unpartitioned space on this computer. To set up a Windows unselected item, press enter. So now we are going to a new partition for Windows has been created on 10,137 MB. Now, if you want to select a different partition for Windows, press ASC. And by default, format the partition using the NTFS file system. Then click on Enter to continue. Now, setup is formatting. We'll just wait while setup formats the partition. Okay. So the setup is now examining our disks, and the setup copies the files to the Windows installation folder. So this will take several minutes to complete. It depends on our um, computer. Okay, we will just wait until it will reach 100%. Now the file is being copied, and our computer will reboot in a few seconds. Okay, press any key to boot from CD. Now our Windows XP is being started. All right. So the 64-bit Windows architecture processes extremely large amounts of data more efficiently, and it's installing our Windows. We will just wait for this setup to finish the installation. Okay, so after this one, we can use any applications associated with this operating system that is installed on our um, virtual machine. Okay, it's now installing the devices. Um, Now the regional and language options. So we need to click on next. Now, for personalizing the software, um, we're going to type the name and our name and the company name. So I'm going to type my name, and the organization is Plattech 22. Then I'm going to click on next. Then the product key, which is associated in the file name that is being downloaded in an ISO disk image file. So we have here, so we can use this one. Okay, C, sorry, PCF QD, then V9 FX 946 W VH K3 CD 4 4J3 JM. Then click on next. Okay, we're going to name our computer like Jessica underscore Reyes. Then we're going to type our password as admin in small caps, and password is admin. Okay, Jessica Reyes contains one or more non-standard characters. Do you want to use this non-standard name? Yes. Then click on next. Setting up the date and time. By default, it's um, being set as the current date of our computer, March 17, 2021. It's 12:32 p.m. Then click on next. And the time zone, let's try to select the time zone that is +8, like Singapore, same as with the Philippine time. +8, we have Taipei. That would be okay for us. Okay, then click on next. So network settings, click on next. Work group or the computer domain. Now this computer is not on a network, then click on next. We will just wait for the setup to complete in a few minutes. It's now registering our component, and in a few minutes we can use our virtual machine, okay, using the Windows XP operating system. Okay, so almost done with our installation. Okay, almost complete in 1 minute. Then, okay, here we go. Applying computer settings. Okay, so we are asked to enter our password. So we will type admin as we have set earlier. Okay, there you go. We have our Windows XP and we can start running programs using this virtual machine. So we have our accessories, Paint, Command Prompt, Internet Explorer. Okay, now let's try to surf the internet using our VirtualBox like google.com. Okay, so we are here, like also search for the Gmail. Okay, mail. The page does not display. Let's try to gmail.com. You are about to leave a secure internet connection. It will be possible to others to view information you sent. Do you want to continue? Yes. Okay. Right. So cannot find server. Now let's try to use the other this one. Explorer. And let's try to use our gmail.com. Let's show this warning. Okay. So not find server for now. Let's try to open our computer. So these are the drives being installed. We have here the hard disk drive, local disk drive C. So this is the graphical user interface in Windows XP. So click on contents of this folder. So we have here our Windows. So most of the folders are being hidden. So we have to click on this link to show the contents of this folder, right? Okay. Windows Maker, Movie Maker. So those are the applications being associated upon installing this Windows XP operating system using this virtual machine. All right. So we have here WordPad, Windows Explorer. Okay, so we can do anything just like the usual machine that we are using. Okay, I hope that you learned something. Thank you. Okay. So upon, for example, we're going to save this one. Save. Then let's try to put it in D. Let's try to create a folder here. New folder. Oops. Access is denied for this folder. Unable to create the folder. New folder. Access denied. Now let's try to use the command prompt. Okay, let's try to issue some help to display um, all the basic commands. Right. Now let's try to shift to drive D. Now let's try to display content of our drive. And let's try to make a folder in drive D. This is denied. Okay. Now let's try to create in drive C. CD. And now dir. So these are the folders inside drive C. Let's try to create a folder named Sicarius. And let's try to display it is, yeah, we have here CD Sicarius. And okay, it is not recognized still in this Windows XP. Now let's try to save on this one and put it in drive C inside this one. Document is the file name and rich rich text format is the file type. Then let's try to save and let's try to locate on our file being created. So we have here. Okay. So video memory, recording disabled, cable, it's connected. Then let's try to see if we can use the Internet Explorer. Okay. Hmm. So we can now log in. May not know, but Google search. Hmm. Example. YouTube.com cannot be displayed, cannot find server. Maybe it is being blocked. Okay, so after which that we are done, cancel. With using our virtual machine, we can turn off our computer. Okay, we can now turn off our um, computer using the virtual machine. Okay, our computer is run on a virtual machine running the Windows XP, then turn off. So it's the same concept that we are turning our usual device. Okay, I hope that you have learned something from this video. Thank you.